Do you know that God has something new in store for you? Would you like to discover how to access the new realms of faith, favor, power, and glory that God has planned for you? Are you ready to go to the next level in your destiny? The Bible tells us that God will do a new thing that will spring forth. This means suddenly. Today's program will teach you how to recognize what God is doing in this season and how to access the new that God has for you. Stay tuned for this revelatory program.
Dr. Vijay Alston is a divine change agent dispatched globally for the eternal kingdom of God. She is dedicated to bringing God's revolution to your life, community, and organization. She is passionate with helping everyone discover their God-given identity, purpose, and destiny. Welcome to Destiny Moments.
Hello, and thank you for joining me. I am your host, Dr. Venner Alston. Does it feel like you're living the same chapter of your life over and over and over again? Are you struggling with the same issues from year to year to year? Have you been waiting and waiting for the next level of your destiny to be revealed? Well, I want you to get ready, because today is going to be your day of breakthrough and deliverance. You are getting ready to break into the next chapter of your life. The church is coming into a season that will be marked, this season will be marked by glory, by power, and miracles. So I want you to begin to look for opportunities of miracles all around you. Watch for the small miracles that are manifesting all around you. We are in this season now. It's not a season that we're coming into. We are here now. We are in our season of manifestation. We are in our season of manifestation. And the thing that's important to know, we can't manifest the new that God is bringing to us without letting go of some old things. What are the old things that you need to let go of? I was thinking about how oftentimes with churches and ministries, how we do church, we do the same thing over and over and over and over again. The offering is in the same place over and over. There's 3 songs, 1 fast and 2 slow. We have the same routine over and over and over again. Every single detail of the ministry is planned out. And it's so programmed that sometimes what happens is we administrate God right out of his own service. Okay, this is a season that God says that this is going to be a time that he wants to show up spontaneously in our gatherings. He wants to preempt the message. He wants to come in the worship time in such a way that by the time we look and say it's time for the message, God has come, God has healed, God has delivered, he has set free, and there was no need that day for the message. See, God is doing something different, and we have to learn how to go with him, and we have to be willing to come into the new with him. You will never finish reading a book as long as you keep reading the same chapter over and over and over again. You will never finish it if you keep reading the same 3 sentences over and over and over again. So here's some destiny questions I want to ask you. What page are you stuck on in your life? What page are you stuck on in your ministry? What cycle of life are you continuously living through without joy, without fulfillment, and without a sense of purpose? What is that? Here's another destiny question. What is the old that needs to be laid aside so that you can access the new that God is bringing to you? I'm amazed that when we come into like a new year, all of the affirmations, all of the New Year's pledges that we make, and we say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And we start out running real hard at the beginning of a year. But within weeks, sometimes within days, we lapse back into old behavior. There's something very familiar about the old. The new presents a challenge. When we're talking about the new, we're talking about the need to excel beyond our last place. It's the need to go beyond where we've been. It's a need to turn the page. So cycles of time are signals when something new begins. So a new day, a 24-hour cycle of time, a new week, a new month, a new year. This is something has ended and something is beginning. But if we have an inability to turn the page and begin a new chapter, this is an attack of the enemy to prevent you from walking in your destiny. You've got to be willing to turn the page. Now, sometimes what happens is this is something that we call memory recall. Memory recall is when something has happened in your life and you keep rehearsing the same thing over and over. It's memory recall. In the sports world, they call it instant replay. You keep replaying the same incident in your life over and over and over. When you do that, you are stuck on the same page. You are stuck in the same chapter. You're rehearsing that betrayal over and over and over and over. You're rehearsing this. There are some pastors that you're stuck in the same place, that maybe somebody split your ministry or some other thing happened in your ministry and you can't seem to move beyond that. You're stuck in that same chapter, but it's time for you to begin to look to move beyond that place. So we've gone through church splits, we've gone through betrayal, we've gone through other upheavals in our ministry, and we find it difficult to move beyond it. God is saying that this is a season in time that he's going to show us how to turn the page in our lives. See, memory recall, when this happens, when you're rehearsing it and when you're thinking about it, the same emotions that were present in you at the time of the event are the same emotions that begin to rise up when you're thinking about it. And if I am captured by my past, it affects my present, and it will prevent me from moving into my future. What is it where is it in your life that you need to turn the page? Okay? You need to deal with whatever the toxic emotions are. You need to deal with those things. And so when we talk about all of these issues, when we talk about being stuck somewhere, when we talk about our destiny and walking out our destiny and walking out the purposes of God, unless we are willing to turn the page, we're just rereading and rehearsing the same thing over and over and over again. We're still talking about who hurt us. We're still talking about who betrayed us. We're still talking about those old things. And then what happens is sometimes we feel like if we just go to a new city, if we go to a new ministry, if we just do that, that would be enough. But the issue is, unless we deal with what's on the inside of us, those things move with us. And so I read something on social media that said, if you don't heal from what hurt you, you'll bleed on people that didn't cut you. So we have to let God restore us. We have to let him heal us so that we can turn the page in our lives. What page, what sentence are you rereading over and over and over and over again? Now, when I come back, I'm going to share 4 hindrances that can hinder you from going beyond and living a new chapter. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
We will be back with more of Destiny Moments in just a moment.
Are you tired of suffering defeat in your prayer life? Do you have a hunger to experience a greater degree of excellence in your life and in your ministry? Log on to Dr. Venner Alston's ministry website. Through Dr. Alston's Destiny Moments podcast, she wants to provide you with radical strategies and cutting-edge approaches that will empower you to produce lasting results. Find out how to join her Exceptional Woman Mentoring Group, where you can receive coaching and online training. Find out more on how to enroll in Dr. Alston's Global Leadership University, where you can receive virtual and on-site training in a 1-year or 2-year school and receive your leadership certificate. Go to her store where you can find resource tools to help you become a more powerful prayer warrior. Understand how you can partner with Dr. Alston to help her reach out with kingdom strategies to transform the nations.
And now back to Destiny Moments.
In this segment, I'm going to share 4 hindrances that will prevent you from going beyond your last place. Are you ready? Hindrance number 1. What can't you forget? The inability to forget some things can hinder you from going beyond your last place. In our last segment, I talked about memory recall. So I'm asking you, what can't you forget? If you can't forget some toxic things, if you can't forget some of the issues that are serving as the prison that are keeping you in this old place, if you can't forget those things, if you're not willing to forget those things, then you won't be able to go beyond your last place. Apostle Paul said, forgetting those things which are behind, he said, I press. Now, when we talk about pressing into something, that means that we're extending ourselves in ways that we didn't even know possible. It means that we are extending the full reach of our arms or the fullness of our stride. If you watch when they're running a marathon, how they extend their legs, how they extend their bodies, they're pressing forward. And so memory recall prevents you from forgetting what needs to be forgotten. There are some things that just need to be forgotten. Paul says, look, I'm forgetting those things that are behind me, and I'm looking forward into my future. I am moving with everything that is in me toward my destiny. Hindrance number 2, what can't you forgive? Unforgiveness is a toxic that when it sets up residence in our soul, if it grows and continues to develop, it becomes a root of bitterness. Bitterness is one of the things that is described as a root. In other words, it develops a root system. It grows and it begins to spread out within your life, and it will touch every area of your life. Unforgiveness colors every aspect of your life. It affects your relationships. It affects vision. Unforgiveness. Forgiveness, when we think about this now, is connected to memory. It's connected to memory. Now, when we talk about this, it doesn't mean that you're going to totally forget. What it literally means is you let go of the right to be angry. You let go, you give up the right to be angry, to be frustrated, to be hurt, and you receive the healing of the Lord. Unless you are willing to forget some things, unless you are willing to forgive some things, you're going to find that you will be stuck in the same chapter of your life. How many people, I've heard people make the statement, I will never forgive them. And I think that's tragic, because when we make the declaration, we will never forgive something, we will never forgive someone, it literally means we will never move beyond this point in time in our life. And yes, the wounds hurt. Yes, the trauma is significant. But if I'm going to move forward in my life, I have to be willing to forgive it. You know, and what I love about God, I love everything about God, but this particular thing, characteristic of God, I love the fact that what I can't do in and of myself, God will help me to do it. I don't have the ability to forgive everything on my own. Some things just bother me. Some things just are in my soul. But what I have found is every single time I have taken that before the Lord, every single time I've cast that before his feet, every single time God helps me to do what I have not been able to do by myself. So what can't you forgive? And when we don't forgive, we won't forget. And that means we will not receive God's grace to live beyond that experience. Hindrance number 3. What can't you find? What can't you find? Living the same chapter of your life opens the door for robbing spirits of frustration, disappointment, and hope deferred. When this happens, you lose your peace. The Bible says, I will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on me because he trusts in me. because we absolutely trust God. Perfect, absolute peace. I love this in the Passion Translation. It says, perfect, absolute peace surrounds those whose imaginations are consumed with you. They confidently trust in you. See, when you've been wronged, when something has happened, we have to trust God to bring vindication. We have to trust God to bring that thing full circle and work all things out for our good. So what can't you find? When we're locked in unforgiveness, when we can't forget it, literally what happens is you can't find peace. You can't find contentment. You can't find it. Not until you're willing to forget and forgive. Number 4, what can't you follow? What can't you follow? God has a plan of action for all of our lives. What is in your destiny plan, written by God, that you have not followed? What can't you follow? How are you aligned? Who are you connected to? What is the accountability structure that is around your life? What can't you follow? What on the path that God has written for your life are you not following? See, if you're going to move beyond, you're going to have to forget. You're going to have to forgive. You're going to have to find peace. And when the first 2 are resolved, literally we find peace, right? And we're going to have to follow the plan of God. See, we keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, expecting different results. Ask the Lord to give you revelation. Ask the Lord to show you what you need to do to go beyond your last place. Now, I want you to stay tuned. When we come back, I'm going to share some destiny keys with you that will help you to move beyond your last place. It's time for you to arise and move into the place that God has purposed for you. Stop living the same chapter over and over. Stop reading the same page. Stop reading the same sentence. Stay tuned. I'll be right back, and I will pray for you.
We will be back with more of Destiny Moments in just a moment.
Log on to Dr. Venner Alston's website, drvjalston.org, to find out more about her 12-week Exceptional Woman Mentorship Program.
Hi, I'm Dr. Venner Alston, and I am inviting you to join my Exceptional Woman Mentorship Program. This program is designed to help you understand your value and worth. Are you willing to face the challenges that confront you? Are you willing to do the necessary work to bring you into that place where you're living as an exceptional woman?
Get ready to develop a new mindset, live exceptionally, grow into your purpose. You will get live coaching, assessments, strategies, an ascension plan, and community.
The exceptional woman never stops growing. She knows that the more she grows, the more she develops, the more she has in her exceptional arsenal to give to those assigned to her life. This mentorship program will provide an opportunity to level up your leadership capacity through the coaching relationship. Each program is custom designed to suit your specified goals. Whether you are an experienced or emerging leader, you will benefit from the leadership journey to becoming and maintaining the status of the exceptional woman.
The exceptional woman is committed to maintaining her focus on the things in her life that matter. She continually gives herself to her purpose and identity as she lives her destiny. The exceptional woman has no need to wear facades or imitate others. She is authentic.
You were made with a purpose, and I can help you discover your unique purpose and provide you with the tools needed to unleash your inner greatness. Living life as an exceptional woman requires courage to stretch and grow beyond your last level of success. I invite you to make a priceless investment in yourself and take this journey with me.
The exceptional woman is a woman of values. In her core, she is deeply spiritual. In the midst of adversity and challenges, the exceptional woman rises above it all, allowing the presence of her Creator to fill her with peace. She overcomes obstacles attempting to fill her with toxic emotions as she rises above every challenge and finds refuge in the presence of God. Log on to Dr. Venner Alston's website, drvjalston.org, to enroll now into her 12-week Exceptional Woman Mentorship Program.
And now back to Destiny Moments.
So how do we go beyond our last place? How do we stop rereading the same chapter? How do we stop rereading the same sentence, living through the same issues over and over and over again? How do we do that? I want to leave you with some simple keys, some simple strategies. I like to call these destiny keys. The first thing that you need is revelation. Revelation, it surpasses information. There are some things that you won't be able to overcome without revelation. Revelation is a download of information from God that you would not otherwise have access to. We need revelation. We need revelation to see that we're stuck. We need revelation to see that we're living the same chapter, living the same page. We're still the same. And we're not coming into the fullness that God has for us because we're reading the same chapter over and over and over again. I thought about sometimes when I'm reading at night and I'm really tired, I'm really fatigued, I do this. I find that I'm reading the same page, I'm reading the same sentence, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I missed something. Or it's like watching a movie, right? And you're not really watching the movie is watching you. And so you keep rewinding it back to the part that you missed, and you fall asleep. And so you keep rewinding and keep rewinding. As long as we're rewinding, we can't move forward. So I want you to understand that it takes revelation, information that I would not have otherwise had access to for me to even see that I'm doing it. I need revelation. Okay? So that's the first destiny key I want to give you, revelation. The second destiny key, they're all important, but this one, this is a word that God gave me for this time. The Lord said that this season is going to be a season of reload. He said the last season was a season of reset. During the pandemic, we all went home. We began to rebuild the family altars again. We found that way of worshiping in our homes in ways that we had not. God reset us. Those that travel, that are itinerants in ministry, God showed us a new way of movement, right? God began to reset us. The Lord said this next cycle of time is about reload. In other words, this is a military term. This is a warfare term, reload. So let me talk to us a little bit about this. The first way I want you to see reload, I want you to think about malware. I want you to think about computer systems. I want you to think about malware. I want you to think about software programs that become infected with malware. And so there is a way that you have to reload the program. You have to reinstall the program so that the operating systems will function appropriately. This is a picture of reloading. Our DNA, God pre-programmed our DNA to hear his voice, to fellowship with him, to move with him, all right, to receive downloads of revelation. We have been pre-programmed. The purpose that God has written for your life, God wrote that into your DNA structure. But sometimes with the issues of life, there is malware that comes in. Sometimes the enemy will implant spyware. Okay, and so it affects us in ways that our operating systems, it needs a reboot, it needs a reload. Okay, and so I want us to understand that. So there's malware that comes in. That's toxins of life. Okay, there can be something in our programming that's a little bit off that we need to reload. Okay, we need to reinstall. And then I remembered this old Western. and it was called the Rifleman. And when it came on, he had this sawed-off rifle that he was known for. And there was a way that he would turn that gun and he would reload it. That was the picture that the Lord showed me. He said, this is what I'm doing with my church in this season. He said, I'm showing my church how to reload. He said, and what I'm doing, I'm reinstalling, I'm reactivating the supernatural programming that I put on the inside of every one of them. The church is coming back to the identity and the destiny that I've purposed for her, okay? And then the third key is restoration. Now, when we look at restoration, I want you to look at system processing. I want you to think about how computer systems operate. I want you to think about rebooting. I remember having something going wrong with my computer, and they said, well, turn it off and reboot it. You know, you need to reboot it. And sometimes in life, there are things that happen that you need a reboot. And that happens in the presence of the Lord. That happens in times of worship. I want to encourage you to find a set time that you can worship, that you can get alone with God, that you can begin to seek God's face in ways that is a little bit deeper than where you were with him before. This is a season and time that God says, what I'm going to upload into you are new measures of glory. See, when we talk about glory, we're talking about the weightiness of God. We're talking about the kavod of God, the weightiness, the heaviness of God that we begin to wear like a garment. So we need to reload. We need revelation, and we need restoration. David understood that. He said, he restores my soul. He restores my soul. Sometimes our soul, we just need to be restored. Sometimes we just need a reboot. Sometimes we just need God to reinstall something. Sometimes we just need to get alone with God and just begin to empty ourselves and keep emptying ourselves and keep emptying ourselves and keep emptying ourselves so that he can continue to fill us up more and more and more and more. I want to pray for you. Father, I thank you for every individual that has tuned in today. And I speak over them now that you break out of the survival mentality. And this is the season I prophesy that you will begin to thrive. I command every spirit of failure to thrive, every spirit that hinders you from progressing. I command it to loose you and let you go. Every assignment of backward movement in your life, I decree that that's breaking off of you right now. And I decree that you're going from glory to glory to glory. Every assignment of the enemy that has come in to try to affect your programming, I decree that it's breaking now in the name of Jesus. Now receive the deliverance of the Lord. Be delivered, be restored, be set free right now. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back next week with another revelatory program that will move you toward your destiny.
In the absence of vision, the visionless will resort to imitation. Live with vision.